I remember that.
And Ayub was trying to come on with us. You know who the common denominator is?
Yo, Jacob?
Jake.
Yep.
Jake was the one who threw Yadullah out of his house. When Jake went to Philadelphia and had sex with Yadullah's wife, who had the twins. When Yadullah returned from Georgia to Jake threw his, they had a big argument fight. Jake threw him out. That's why he went to sisters, and that's why he went to Shamira's house, and that's why he ended up in that party dead. Ayub was writing me back and forth. You know, I was teaching him in Hebrew and everything. We was having a good time. He said he's getting ready to get out. I was happy. He gets out. He said he's going to try to talk to Jake to tell him. Takes him to a party in Florida, knowing he's on parole. Right? Gives him a gun. He goes into the party. Of course, he gets busted. Jake don't. He's in violation of parole. He goes back to the prison and dies of an aneurysm attack at his age. And then now this one here, Jake and them pick up his mother, Abigail, from the land when she was leaving. And now, who dies? Israel. And Jake is involved in each one of these. If that's not the devil, if that ain't the devil, I don't know what the devil is. You know what I'm saying? Something, come on. The word coincidence means an incident that happens twice. You know what I'm saying? That's a coincidence. I mean, this, come on, we don't gonna wait for, you gonna wait for him to kill somebody else?
Right.
You know, I'm telling you, because there's a lot of brothers and sisters, he was at the wake talking about y'all need to contact me, you know, so we can do business together. The whole argument, the reason why I'm here is because I wouldn't give him $1 million for him to promote Little Kim. He came to me to Atlanta and said, I need money to invest in Yorkville records. I'm like, who's your artist? You know, Little Kim. I didn't even know what a Little Kim was. Then I went on the internet and saw that she was a slut. What, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I can't give you no money to promote that. That's going to lead right back to me. He cursed me out, called me all kind of names, told me he would kill me, so I'm responsible for his mother dying of an aneurysm attack. Jumped in his car and almost hit one of the kids and skirted up the land. I didn't hear from him for about 6 months or more. I can't remember. Then he called me on the phone, I'm coming down there, I'm going to kill you. I said, you know, I said, and what is all the brothers standing around here going to be doing? Look, he's standing there looking at you as you're killing me. Come on, still. But he had this hate going on inside him. You follow?
Right.
And that's why he went and lost these stupid charges. But the system just wanted to take our land because of the plantation out there where they was having all their parties. So they set it all up. But the Most High is ever conscious.
I ran into a couple of, Nicole Lopez. I ran into her at Lenox Mall. Oh, I hadn't seen her since 89, 90, so it was like very nice to see her. She was my childhood sweetheart at one point, so I was like, oh, okay, great. So we kicked it, and then we hung out a few times, and then it was like a couple other people, like, you know, reconnected, and was like kind of, hey, I ain't seen you in a while, blah, 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 blah. Now, mind you, at this point, I don't know the extent of what's going on up there. I knew what I saw when I left. There was no one explaining to me anything else until one day we're all riding to Miami together.
Yo, what's up? This is Faisal, or also Imhotep Karin Sa'atumre. I'm making this video because what I want to do is I want to bring to light something that's a little strange and also painful, but I think it's necessary at this point. You know, the thing is this. When it comes to the whole children being molested in the tabs, well, I was one of those kids that actually got molested and raped numerous amount of times. And it was not by pops. It was by the teenagers. The older boys were doing it. I'm saying people like Jacob, people like these people. And the problem was that because they were so close to some of the victims that was experiencing these things, the victims, they attempted to blame the old man, or people like Jacob decided to come up with a coup to put the blame on pops. When he was the one that was actually doing a lot of that stuff. Not only him, but there were other ones too that were doing it. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of stories that people are afraid to talk about because...
Right? And then all of a sudden, like, this whole big thing came out. It was like a bunch of people grew up together. You know, I go to Miami for Memorial Day weekend every year anyway. You know, that's just one of my places. I go to Miami actually 10 times a year. I just like the place, you know? So I decided, okay, cool, I'm going. If y'all want to roll, we'll rent 2 vans. Everybody will chip in and we'll ride down there. It ended up starting with 5 people. It ended up being 25 people, you know?
Jacob wanted all of us to
all of us, meaning me, Nicole, Karima, he was talking to a couple of people, different people that left the community. He wanted us to bring a case against his father.
I think if I was that instrumental in the case, I would have been on the stand. That's how I believe.
How come Jacob York didn't testify?
I don't know why the government put him out. I think it was too dangerous to put him out.
The conspiracy involving Jake York, people who were on the trip to South Beach where the whole plot was formulated, people who lived in the house with Jake, who were a party to all these plans, weren't even allowed to testify because they knew if they testified, they're not even going to allow the conspiracy in, because that's the key to the whole case. That blows the case wide open. That's something the media doesn't want anybody to know, the judges and the prosecution doesn't want anybody to know. That would have been blown wide open. They're not allowed to testify.
Jacob York was very upset at his father, and I know that's why he told the government that his father, was wrong and was molesting children so that he could obtain money from his father, because he was out there doing illegal activities, illegal identification, birth certificates, or what have you. Also, he was a record producer, not a very good one, because he's always having problems with his artists, but yet and still, he was upset with his father, which didn't make any sense. Unfortunately, his mother had passed, peace be with her, but he shouldn't have been mad at his father, Dr. Malachi Z. York, because he had nothing.
I wouldn't call Jacob York because I know he would say a lot of negative stuff, but they weren't going to call Jacob York for me to properly cross-examine him to bring out the fact that all of these witnesses went on a trip to South Beach in Miami a little bit before they started going to the government and kind of came up with this plan. We had witnesses as to that. We even had a witness that was willing to say that Jacob York stated that he was setting his father up.
Your video is going to be about Jacob York and how he's being protected by certain people who refuse to mention him. They refuse to discuss him. And whenever his name comes up, they quickly, a certain individual quickly dismisses any notion of Jacob being involved in any conspiracy, which is the same position as the feds. So that makes me question, what is your position? And why are you defending Jacob, who's a known molester? Known molester. Known to be molesting, known to be molesting young women in Bushwick, and known in the industry, known in the music industry as a pervert. You see? So why are you always jumping into his defense to cover up for him? So that's what we need to look into. That's the question. That's going to be the next response I want to do.
But the government, the court wouldn't allow him to come in. His own sister stated that Jake York stated to him that he was going to create this story and bring his father down.
Yeah, he's behind it all because we all sat down and we talked, and we was going to figure out how we was going to set it up. We were just going to back each other's story in whichever way we could, even if it meant lying for each other.
The charges brought up against Malachi were all lies. We did back each other's story up.
And we had another witness corroborate that testimony that said he heard when Jacob York came, the witness stated that Jacob York came to him to help him commit some check fraud. But while he was talking to him, he talked about this whole thing he's doing to bring down Dr. York.
Now, of course, I did help a lot of these people get jobs. I did help them, get their lives together. Help them get apartments. Help them, I did that for a lot of them. Sure, no problem. And a lot of them ended up being witnesses, or half of them or whatever ended up being witnesses. Great. I have a loyalty to them that I don't have to York. Do you understand my point?
The purpose of this study is to offer a history of the Nawabian controversy.
Jacob York, also known or is known as, his legal name is Yaquwb Muhammad. The conspiracy that involved him and the numerous other ex-members of our community